Saying yes to the car was actually the easy part. The finance office wants you to say yes to a whole lot more. But don't feel pressured to quickly sign. Make sure you read the document in full and understand everything.
Hi, everyone. My name is Crystal, and I would like to welcome you to the Humans of Money Mentors podcast. This is part 3 of our Purchasing a Vehicle series. Today we have
Eve, financial counselor.
Mary Grace, digital learning specialist.
Sheena Drummond, financial educator.
Sharon Hyde, financial counselor.
All right, welcome everyone. So again, this is the final part in our series. This is where you're in. So you want the vehicle and the excitement and nerves are high. This next step can be the most intimidating, signing the dotted line, committing to the vehicle and the financing terms and the payment. Most people don't have a banking background or extensive knowledge in financing agreements and contracts. So let's help prepare you for what comes next.
My top tip is to know what to expect when entering the finance office. Saying yes to the car was actually the easy part. The finance office wants you to say yes to a whole lot more. But don't feel pressured to quickly sign. Make sure you read the document in full and understand everything. If you don't, ask questions, and if they give you a vague answer, take a moment, do your research, Google it. The finance person will submit your credit application into a portal of multiple lenders, and each lender will respond with their decline, approval with terms, or approvals. And then the finance person will review all approvals and try to get you the best deal, but also the one that will make them the most commission.
My top tip is, what are you signing? Sometimes vehicle finances come with very high documentation or administration fees on the bill of sale. Dealerships typically will charge between $499 and $899 in fees just to do your paperwork. This is absolutely negotiable, and if it's the only thing holding you up from signing the deal, quite typically they'll reduce it or sometimes eliminate it. So don't be afraid to challenge that. They'll also upsell your rate sometimes. So when the lenders respond to the finance manager with approvals, there's usually conditions, and it will state the interest rate that they approved you at, if they want cash down, what term they're willing to go for you based on your credit and your standings, and on the vehicle itself. Understand that sometimes the banks will give the finance manager the opportunity to upsell the interest rate to you. So if your contract's approved at, say, 8.99, the dealership finance manager might say to you, congrats, I got you all approved at 9.99. Because then the bank's going to pay that finance manager a commission on the upsell and the increase of that interest, okay? So it's always worth it to challenge the interest rate. Say, yeah, okay, I'm in, but I'm not liking that rate. If you can get that down a couple points, we got a deal, okay? If they come back with the same rate, then it could be that that is truly what you were approved for, but it's always worth asking. And who knows, if they can lower it 1% or 2%, it's saving you money over the course of your term.
All right, so let's take a look at add-ons. The finance guy makes his commission at an astounding 100 to 200K annually by selling you extras to be included in your financing. So these are never a requirement or condition of approval by the lender. Let's take a look at some things that they might try to add on or upsell you on. Life and critical illness or job loss insurance. These premiums are pricey, and if included in your financed amount, you will pay much more in interest on that premium over the term of your loan. There's life insurance. If you are the only applicant and you die during your loan term, most commonly, if the car is in good condition, the creditor takes the car back, and that is the end of it. It doesn't fall on your spouse or family to keep paying for the loan if you were the only borrower. Critical illness or job loss, the more expensive of the coverages. This insurance is meant to protect your credit and cover your payments if something happens. Finally, extended warranties. Use your judgment with this one. If you are financing the vehicle 60 months or longer, you will run out of manufacturer warranty. I encourage, if it's in the budget, bringing cash to pay for the warranty you choose over financing it into the deal and paying extra interest on that amount.
My top tip is understand the finance contract. Now, if you don't need to be intimidated or feel forced or pressured to sign, if you do not understand what it means and what it entails, ask questions, because this is a very big commitment. Your finance contract or lease will be held with a specific lender. This contract will disclose your total amount payable over the term of the contract, your interest rate, and how many years you will be paying.
Yeah, so finance contracts can be short-term or they can be a little bit longer. They can usually go up to 8 years, which is 96 months. So the longer the term is, the more interest you're going to pay, right? So you're going to keep this ride for the long haul. You'll pay significantly more interest on top of the purchase price due to a lengthy term, which makes the vehicle value a little bit lower than what you will owe. And that makes it hard to trade in during your term because it's what we call negative equity. Sometimes a finance contract with a lender can have a balloon payment due at the end. So please make sure you're aware. If that's the case, always ask those questions.
And lease contracts, these can be 2 to 5 years long and not as daunting as a 8-year term, but come with some conditions of no excess wear and tear or excess kilometers outside of what your lease contract states. So ensure that you understand the parameters.
Thank you all for that great information. So the reality is that once we have decided on a purchase and are really excited about it, we need to make sure we're aware of our rights and responsibilities before signing anything. The tips you all shared today will provide us with the most protection. So to wrap up here, we'd like to thank everyone that's taken the time to watch or listen to Humans of Money Mentors video. If you haven't seen our previous videos, I definitely recommend you watch them, as they're packed with helpful tips when making a vehicle purchase. Now, I'm going to ask you, do you have any tips when entering a dealership? Comment them below. Thanks and have a great day, everyone.